fucking penis on this album cover.
Hey everyone, this is Alex here, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Dudes Brews and Reviews podcast. Today we're talking about the classic 1993 album Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins. We drink bourbon while recording this episode, so forgive us if we go off topic here more often than we usually do. Other than that, if you like what you hear, please subscribe to our podcast, and if possible, share us with your friends. With that being said, we hope you enjoy the show.
You've been on vacation. I wanted to ask you about it, but I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, I just came back from Orlando on today's Monday, so I came back on Thursday night. Me and the wife went to Disney World. We visited all 4 of the parks, and that was pretty exciting. I think I told you already, but our flight was at a really weird time.
Yeah, didn't it fuck up your schedule, your whole day?
Yeah, I was so jet lagged on Saturday when we got there. We had to get up at 3 in the morning to catch a 6 a.m. flight. We landed in Orlando around 8:30, got the rental car, got coffee and breakfast, and went straight to Epcot. I'm not underselling it when I say I was fucking dead.
Yeah.
Before we even stepped foot inside the amusement park.
What time did your flight land?
About 8:30 in the morning.
So, what time did you get to Epcot? In the afternoon or?
By the time we got the rental car and went and got breakfast and all that, it was probably about 10:30 when we got there.
You came pretty early for Epcot.
It was busy.
Really? I was going to ask you how, because I went back in January and the capacity was and it was right after Christmas. It was just right after Christmas. It was I think we went maybe the 6th through the 11th, and it was dead because they just had their big Christmas celebration and stuff, and they still had all the Christmas decorations up and stuff. So it was kind of slow. And I remember being there, and they were the people said last week was still really busy. And they had the New Year's celebration and all that. So so we came the week after, and it was pretty slow. But how was the other parks and stuff? Were they the capacity? Because I think they were only at 25% capacity while we were there.
It wasn't that bad aside from the Saturday we went to Epcot.
Well, also you got to think people that live there, people that have
Pass or something.
The people that live in Florida, they probably go on the weekends and stuff. I think we went maybe on I want to say a Thursday, sometime during the week, and it wasn't that busy. So that's probably why it was so busy.
I was a little disappointed because the last time me and my wife went to Disney World, we didn't hit Epcot at all. So this time we were well, we're going to hit Epcot first, not thinking about the jet lag and everything. So when we were complete zombies walking around on a very busy Saturday, I feel I didn't really get to experience the park the way it should be. I still enjoyed it. We rode a couple rides while we were there, and I got to have some beer and
I'm sure
the around the world section of the park.
What did you end up having?
It was in the Canadian section of the park. It was something called it had a French Canadian name, La Fin Monde or something like that. It was amazing.
Really?
It was very good. It was 9% beer though. So putting that on top of my jet lag, it ended my life.
Did you feel like a drunk man?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you did. I've done that before too. It's tough. Not not to that extent, but just drink a beer when you're really tired, and it just
amps up the effects a ton. So after I had the beer, we were let's go home. Let's go to the Airbnb because I was done at that point.
Yeah.
But it was cool though.
I'm trying to think what I had while I was there. I think I know I got a margarita in Mexico, but it was it wasn't just a normal ass margarita. I want to say it was my stepbrother got a blackberry. I think it was maybe some sort of passion fruit or something. It was good.
I think I saw the place that you're talking about because the line was huge for this place.
Yeah.
There was tons of people waiting for margaritas.
I think there's one outside, and then when you go down into the temple, there's a place just a bar that makes up specialty margaritas.
Oh, really?
So down in there, because you know how it's dark and then it's made to look like night, and there's that restaurant in there and stuff. When you first get in, down the stairs to the right, there's a little bar, and that's where I got it. They had very expensive liquors on the wall and stuff. It was really cool.
Huh.
But that's where I got it, and it was it was okay. I don't think I wouldn't pick it over a normal margarita.
You can't go wrong with a classic just lime margarita.
I don't like frozen margaritas. I prefer like the tequila and
Oh, yeah.
lime. Like that's what I like. I don't like
frozen drinks in general. Really.
Yeah, me
I don't
neither.
like slushies or snow cones or nothing like that.
Now the ladies, my lady, she likes a frozen margarita, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, nah, I want it on the rocks, bro. That's what I want. I want salt on the rim.
Yeah.
That's how I prefer it.
As far as rides go, I rode pretty much like over the 2 times I've been to Disney. I think I've ridden everything except for the good Avatar ride.
Mm-hmm.
The line was like long when we were there, and I've never ridden Splash Mountain, and the line for that was really long too.
Mm-hmm.
But the coolest ride was fucking Mickey Mouse and Minnie's Railroad.
Yeah, like the Runaway Railway or something like. I can't remember what it's called.
I think maybe it amazed me so much because like I didn't know anything about the ride before we went on it.
Same here. Yeah.
It makes you think it's like a slow moving like train ride at first, then it splits off into this like wild
Yeah,
like
because like all the cars are independent of each
Yeah.
other, and it doesn't seem like that when you feel like first get on the ride. It threw me off too. I was like, what in the world is going on?
I didn't understand how the cars moved around because like there's no track at some point. Like you're just moving around on a big floor and like all the cars are like kind of independently doing their own thing.
But they line up in a train at the beginning, so like it really,
Yeah.
they're
Whoever
like.
designs these rides are like geniuses.
So that's how I know you didn't do the new Star Wars stuff, and that's how the new Star Wars ride is also. That's how it is.
Is it a little bit more wild than the Mickey one?
It's a little bit like it's pretty immersive. The way it's set up like puts you in, takes your mind and like they try to immerse you in the world of Star Wars, like make you feel part of a story kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool. But there's actually one part, spoilers, I guess. Do you mind if I tell you?
It's gonna be a long time before I go back, so go ahead.
And then you've never seen.
I haven't seen any of the movies.
So
either,
yeah,
really.
there's a spot like because the ride opens up like you get into like a shuttle and like you're citizens and like you get like you're being intercepted and like even like the people that can like take you in line and stuff are like role playing basically as like Star Wars people, like Imperial officers and stuff. Like they interrogate you and like push you forward and stuff. And the ride makes it seem like you're like getting intercepted and they take you to like an Imperial ship. And so when you get off like this little shuttle, you go straight into like an Imperial base, and it's like just like the movies. It's crazy how like immersive it gets. And then like they take you to processing, and you like get to go inside the hangar, and it feels so real. I'll show you after. I actually have a picture of it. Like I refrained from showing people because I don't want to spoil it. It's so immersive because you can see out into space.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And I'm sure the effects are like
yes,
incredible.
It's like the first second you're just like, holy shit, like this is right in front of me. Like it feels like you're on set. It's so crazy. But did you get to do Avatar? Like, did you do it? Like, did you wait?
No.
Damn, get her. Damn.
I know,
wanted
I
you
know.
to do it so bad.
I did the river
The
ride.
river. I didn't do that last time. I'd never done it before this last time I went, so that was new for me.
I wasn't a big fan. Like,
Yeah.
it was cool visually, but there was like no story on the ride.
There's no like
It was just
narrative.
it was just a basic boat ride through some like pretty scenery.
Yeah, that's how I perceived it as well.
I was underwhelmed.
Damn, I wish you would have done the flight of passage. How long was the line, do you think?
God, it was probably only 90 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But my wife didn't want to wait.
Well, hey, one of these days, fucking greatest idea ever. Elizabeth doesn't ride roller coasters, so we'll have to double up and go
Yeah.
to Disney World one of these days, and then me and you can go ride all the fucking rides we want, and they can just go fucking shop around with our credit cards or some shit.
Yeah.
We'll do it that way.
I'm not afraid of anything.
No.
I'll ride the craziest 500-foot tall
Uh-huh.
coaster,
Yeah.
even though Disney doesn't have that, but I would do it if they did.
Yeah, the only ride that's like kind of like a thrill seeker is Expedition Everest. And
Yeah.
even that's like pretty subtle, but that ride is so fun. We rode it twice while we were there.
It's a cool one.
It's so fun. I like appreciated it when I went back. I felt like I appreciated going back so much more. Like as an adult, like I'm like, bro, like this is like after you like work all the time and, you know, like in school and shit. I'm like, bro, I need a vacation. And like, I appreciate it so much more when I'm older. Like, I acted like a little fucking kid when I went. I was like, nah, fuck these people. I don't care what I look like. I wore like the dumbest shit. And like, I was like, fuck them. I'm in Disney World. I'm having a good time.
Dude, you gotta live sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
Overall, though, the trip was fun, man. I mean, Orlando in general was pretty cool. Had a lot of good like vegan food and stuff when I was there, including the best chicken tenders I've ever had in my life. That includes like when I ate meat too. Incredible.
That's a bold fucking statement.
Yeah,
dude.
Olivia thought the same thing too.
Really? Okay.
And she's not even like vegetarian.
Where was it at?
It was some place called like Winter Park Biscuit Company. It was just like chicken, biscuits, and fries. The
Was
most
it-
simple shit.
But was it in the park?
It was like in Orlando, the city.
You guys got an Airbnb, so you probably got to go other places and shit.
Yeah, we also went to Cape Canaveral, which is where the Kennedy Space Center is.
Oh,
We didn't get to go inside because they closed at 4 and we got there at like 5. And it was also like $55 to get inside, so I probably would have said no. But we got to see like the space shuttle and like
that's cool.
that's where I get this.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I
NASA
was just about to
shirt,
ask you.
which oddly enough it was unintentional, but kind of fitting for the album we're talking about today. At least in a very vague sense, because of song titles like Rocket and
Space Boy.
Yeah, Space Boy. I almost said Star Boy, like The Weeknd.
Like The Weeknd. That's a good album. That's kind of on the list, among other things. It's tough, though, because even with my I haven't like really thought about what my recommendation is. Like, I haven't like thought about it in my head. Like, what am I deciding? I know what I'm doing, though, but I like had been contemplating it all day, but
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. But I don't want to talk about like shit that we've talked about before with each other, really.
What do you mean?
Like
Like
you say,
outside of the podcast?
yeah, like if we do like Blonde or like I've been like really wanting to do a Brockhampton record, especially anticipating their newest record coming out. I was like, damn, like I want to do that, but also like me and you've like seen them live together, and like we've also like
listen to him all the time.
and I can talk about it regularly. So like I like shit like this because I feel like it's more exploratory, like pushing the comfort zone of each other and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun. And then like I appreciate it even more way after I've listened or watched, and I feel like I add to my arsenal.
Yeah,
Like,
we're always like introducing each other to new things. I mean,
Yeah.
same thing happened with like you recommending The King.
Yeah, and
I
like
was
Abbey Road.
Yeah, like it's just stuff I don't think I would have gotten into on my own, and then I ended up liking it.
Like really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Also, like the thing is like I don't want to recommend shit that I don't think you'll like. Like I know we keep joking about like recommending like Limp Bizkit or some shit, but like just like
It's coming one of these days.
I'm sure
Austin.
it
You
will.
Fucking brace yourself,
fucking
boy.
some hot dog water and like shit like that. I don't want to recommend shit I don't think you'll like, but I like want to push you in a direction that I think
Ah,
that you know what I mean?
You can recommend anything you want, man.
True.
Even if I don't like it, it'll be interesting to go back and forth. on,
It'll
like-
it'll just be me and you saying fuck you back and forth. So
That's kind of how parts of the Interstellar episode were, and I liked that movie a lot.
yeah, you're playing devil's advocate though a lot too. I thought
I was.
that's all right.
I was being a little gimmicky on that one.
That was hard to navigate. It was a hard movie to navigate because the movie is so sectioned. I guess it's so split up based on time and stuff. So I don't know.
That's one of my favorite episodes that we've done so far.
Same. Speaking of which, this is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I think. I don't know.
That surprises me.
Really?
Yeah, because when I recommended Siamese Dream initially, I didn't know what your reaction to it would be. Because a long time ago, you told me that you really don't like 90s like grunge or alt rock. Mm-hmm. And like this is like a favorite of mine from my teenage years and stuff. So I was like, he might love it, he might hate it, he might be indifferent to it, and I wasn't sure which direction that would be. So I'm interested.
Okay, let me preface. We've been getting fucked at work bad, and you know this. And you were on vacation, and we have like group chats, and like where like managers are reaching out for people to come help deliver pizzas and stuff.
It sounds like I left the state at the perfect time.
You did, because if not, you'd have been stuck there to like at least 11 o'clock at like the earliest every night. And like usually that's like pushing pretty late for you.
If I got school the next day, but
Yeah.
on any other day, it wouldn't be the end of the world or anything.
But like it's been really, really bad. Usually like we have a pretty good handle on things even when it's pretty busy. But with like the stimulus checks going out, I swear people just like needed something to spend their money on.
And Domino's Pizza
And
is what they
Domino's
chose.
Pizza, dude, Bring my motherfucking Dominoes. Like like that's how it was all fucking week. I swear, orders were hours late. It was crazy. And so I tried to listen to this record during that, like
during
chaotic pizza delivery time, and it like wasn't clicking. I couldn't get it to click. Like I was really worried too, and I had been putting it off like the whole week because I like started it earlier in the week, like Monday night when we got fucked, like for the first time because it's Monday, beginning of the week. This shit ain't clicking. I'm so worried it's not going to be a good episode. And then like it probably wasn't until like Thursday where I like sat down and I was like, let me listen to a few songs and like let me get through like the whole album in one sitting, because I got like halfway through and I was like, this shit ain't clicking. And like I've heard songs like Today and Disarm before, so like I was familiar when they came out. Like I knew, like I've listened to 96 point, what rock or whatever, like local Cincinnati or Dayton channel. And so like I was like super like anxious that I wasn't gonna like it. Over like from like Thursday to today, started really liking the album. Like it's like I had to like get like in an openness frame of mind. Like I had to be like, okay, because my vibe was off too. Like cause I've been listening to Brockhampton and I've been listening to like more metal, like post-hardcore, because we were listening to Tree Sessions by Dance Gavin Dance. My vibe has just been off and I couldn't like get in the frame of 90s at all. But like
that's perfectly understandable too.
And because when I hear it too, I only think of like being a child and hearing it in the back seat. And it's like hard for me to like kind of want to like take it in currently. Like I just think it like, oh man, this shit's so fucking old. And I could like for some reason, like I just couldn't get it to click. But over time, I like really started to enjoy it. After like sitting down, I mean like just taking it in more, I just felt like I had a lot more respect for it. And I just felt better. I felt better about it. I mean, I love a lot of the album.
I'm glad to hear that.
I was like pleasantly surprised with myself because like I thought like all week long like, man, like I'm gonna crush Getter's heart here by not liking this album, but like it just grew on me. I just had to get in that vibe.
I knew it was a little far-fetched to recommend this one to you because like even when we get done recording our episodes of the podcast and we go continue drinking throughout the night and listening to music, you never play heavily distorted sounding, rock music. So like I was driving home from Miami, Oxford today and I was playing the record and it's like just like so loud and distorted like pretty consistently. Yeah. And I was thinking, God, I bet Austin hated this.
Well, that's the thing too, because like upon first listens, like I was like having a hard time like catching on to shit. Like I was having a hard time like getting my mind in the flow with the music. Like I just felt like it was obnoxious background noise to like a shitty night I was having at work. I like listened to it a couple times while I was working out and stuff. And then I think like having like those like endorphins helped a lot.
Helped like associate some positive emotions with the record.
Especially songs like Silverfuck. Like while I'm working out, I'm like, yes.
That's a Pump and Iron song right there, if I ever heard one.
For the most part, that song's pretty heavy. That's the thing though, like the whole album is like heavy, dreamy, psychedelic, heavy, dreamy, psychedelic. Like
it definitely bounces between the moods, like quite often.
Like even within songs, like like songs change a lot. Like while doing like a lot of research for it, that also like helped me gain a lot of respect for it as well. And then like once they were pointed out to me, I started paying attention a lot more to like specific sounds, like being able to pull out the different like overdubbings of like guitar, because it'd be like left channel, right channel, left channel, right channel, heavy, clean, distortion, all kinds of shit. Like it was just super technical.
Yeah.
And it was like
which is not really a term associated with like grunge music very often, which makes me kind of hesitant to even call this record grunge. Although the term grunge I don't really like in general, because
I just think of Nirvana, right?
Grunge makes me think of a movement more than a genre.
I wasn't alive for it.
I was like born after Nirvana. I was only 2 when Kurt Cobain died. But I mean, like all the grunge bands have like their own subgenres. Like Nirvana was kind of punk. Like Alice in Chains was kind of metal.
Is Pearl Jam considered grunge?
Yeah, they're part of that. Okay. But I mean, even them. I
don't associate them together though.
Yeah, they're all like just their own different styles.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like when I hear grunge, I only think of Nirvana. In my brain, I hear grunge, I associate Nirvana. I associate Nirvana with like the local. Do you know the restaurant across the street from the post office in Middletown? It used to be like a wings and rings place right there.
No, I know what you're talking about because my mom used to take me there after I got done swimming at the YMCA.
When I was
a kid.
little, I used to get dinosaur nuggets there. Dude, yes. All right. We're on the fucking same wavelength right now.
I
Right.
did the same thing.
Dude, they had a jukebox there that had fucking like that Nirvana album. Was it Nevermind? I think it was.
The one with the baby on
The
the
baby
front.
and the penis. And like me and Blake would be over there, like we'd be like, bro, there's a fucking penis on this album cover. Like we just like you could click the button and like the thing would come over and like every time it was like penis. Like me and Blake would be getting the claw, like we get on claw machine. Bro, I don't know if you know this, I'm a claw machine master.
Are you?
Take my ass to Dave and Buster's, I'll win everything.
I've always thought that like claw machines were a scam.
Nah, bro, you gotta scam the scammers.
Well, if we ever go to a place where I need a big stuffed bear out of a claw machine for my wife,
I got you.
then I'll call you in.
I think me and Elizabeth are going there this weekend. I think the rumor is that we're gonna go there on Saturday.
To Dave and Buster's.
We used to go there all the time.
I used to love going there.
We have like 15,000 tickets. Like we have so many. Like we're just saving them up.
I would never win tickets when I went there. I would only play House of the Dead.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense because House of the Dead's right behind us.
Yeah, I got it
Not
on the Wii.
Yeah.
I wish I had the arcade
The
game.
arcade, that'd be crazy. They're probably like 10 grand. Like they're probably so expensive. It's probably just like what?
They cost a lot to maintain too, because if they break down, you got to go get somebody to come fix it. And
I remember being really young, like in my adolescence, and just being like, when I'm older, I want to have an arcade cabinet in my house. And I remember like learning, like watching videos of like how to like get like ROM emulators in like an arcade cabinet, and I'm like, I'm doing that one day. Like when I have my own place, I'm doing that shit, and I've totally forgotten about it until right now.
Look at us getting all off track.
Dude, we are off track. This is kind of fun though. All right, we're drinking Miller Lite and whiskey, so.
Yeah, we didn't talk about what we were drinking.
Yeah, we're just drinking Miller Lite, and you're drinking old fashioned. I'm drinking a not a Jack and Coke, but whiskey and Coke.
Yeah, we're drinking some rye bullet bourbon.
Yeah, the Miller's making me burp, and so is the Coca-Cola. You can do old fashions all day long, but not me. Didn't we do it for the bee episode?
Yeah, it was common. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I like remember my face the whole time. I was like, like you're a fucking man, not me, bro. I can't
so
do this,
good.
dude. You're fucking crazy. I can't. I think like maybe as I get older, like I'll man up to do it, but like, not me, not today.
That's fair. It's not for everybody. I guess I have a question for you, kind of.
Give me some questions. What's up?
Besides, like, being familiar with Today and Disarm from the radio, like, do you have any kind of, like, relationship with the Smashing Pumpkins music? Or is this kind of, like, the first time that you've really dove into it?
Yeah, this is the first time. I know Disarm, Today, 1979.
You probably know, like, Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Yeah, that's a good song, too.
Yeah?
Is that record after this one or the one before?
That's the one right after this.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, like, also, can I just point out, like, from what I understand, like, this is kind of like a solo record, like, almost. like Billy had, like, a lot, like, it was basically, like, 90% him, which, like, makes sense because it's an extremely intimate album.
Yeah, Billy Corgan was, like, in, like, straight control freak mode during the recording of this record.
Yeah. And then, like, the band almost break up and stuff, right?
What's up with me recommending albums where the band is about to break up when they record it? Because that was the case with Kid A and Abbey Road, and then now Siamese Dream.
Radiohead was going to break up during that era?
They came close.
Well, that was right after OK Computer, correct? Mm-hmm. Must be a running theme after, like, breakout albums. Like, you run into the unfortunate second album, you know, your sophomore album being, like, it's either a make or break kind of moment, you know?
And I swear it's not intentional on my part either. Like, I didn't mean to do that. It just kind of, like, is a pattern that developed on its own. The funny thing is, the Pumpkins hadn't even broken out yet when they were recording this. I mean, their debut was, like, successful on, like an indie level, but this was their, like, mainstream break. Maybe, like, getting signed to a label made Billy Corgan crack under the pressure or something, but...
Based on the subject matter of the album, it seems like he's been under a lot of pressure for, like, his whole fucking life.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Also, I like this album a lot because I felt like I related to it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In what way?
Fuck, I'm already drunk, so, like, just be careful with me.
Okay. Are you drunk already?
I'm fucking buzzed, like, real bad. In a good way. I'm having a good time, but, like...
The whiskey will do that to you.
The whiskey fucking got me quick. Dude, the whiskey... I'm telling you, bro, the whiskey is what it is. This shit never happens when we're drinking beer. Like, I feel...
It isn't so much as it doesn't sneak up on you, but it like slaps you in the face.
Yeah, I feel like I've been like kicking the dick a little bit, and I'm a little bit more open than usual.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I am.
Lay into it.
I'm warm. This album like felt really kind of close to home at some parts. Like in a good way. Like I didn't like well, I mean shit, I can relate to some of the negative aspects of it. Like I've been through a lot of shit growing up, so just like a lot of shit in the album was just like cuz he's coming off this depressive episode. I mean, there is songs like Today is like literally 100% sarcasm. I feel like towards the end of the album, songs like Mayonnaise and like Disarm, like bittersweet, learning to like remember this shit, like shit happened, but like just being like moving forward and like living gracefully or like living more like, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Just in a free
Rambling.
manner.
Yeah, like just like embracing the shit.
I'm glad that you grabbed on to like the lyrical aspect of the record, because when we were going into this podcast, that was actually going to be one of the things I was going to critique a little bit. Not the subject matter itself, but the way Billy Corgan writes it at some points.
Some one-liners in Mayonnaise.
Like you got any in particular in mind?
Well, I just mean like the lyrics they're like deep, bro. They're fucking deep.
It's not like quotable type stuff, really.
Yeah, it's like really like complex words. The message they convey are like really powerful and like super intimate. I don't know if it's that aspect alone, but also like it's so fucking hard to understand what he's saying sometimes if the lyrics aren't right in front of you.
That's true.
And it's like that works against it a little bit.
The instrumentation's usually like kind of overpowering a
Drowning.
lot of the, the words out.
It's like 70% instrumental and like, which I assume is an effect over his voice. Or is that just the way his voice naturally sounds? It just feels like he's singing through a strainer.
I mean, like it might be like a limitation of like just 90s production, but I mean, he sounds like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he has like a really nasally sound. Like it sounds good and it works, but like I just couldn't tell if it was like an effect.
See, I
some sort of reverberation or something.
There might be like a lot of reverb on the production, because this record was like famously overproduced. Like, I don't know if you read that or not, but the way that they recorded it, they went over the budget by like $250,000.
Yeah, by a lot.
Because like Billy Corgan like just he wanted to be a perfectionist.
He's like, nah, bro, what's up?
They layered like vocal takes on top of each other, like just piled them up. It wouldn't surprise me.
The overdubbing of guitar is like littered through the whole album. I mean, it's like a running theme.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it is in like every song. I mean,
it's like overwhelming at some points.
Very overwhelming. Like Silver Fuck, dude. What a fucking name. Quiet's pretty Hummer.
Yeah, they're just dense. Like layers and layers of noise just piled on top of each other.
That probably played a big fact. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it was hard to grab. Like at the beginning, I knew for a fact I was gonna have to like sit and simmer with the album for a while, because it's like hard to digest. Like it's not like super disorienting. Like we were talking about this earlier, like Iridescence by Brockhampton, really disorienting, really messy. I like it a lot, but upon first listen, like you don't pick out everything that like when you go back to and your brain gets familiar with these songs. Like but like the guitar parts, like they're not that. If it's all guitar, it's not like a bunch of sound effects. Like in Iridescence, that's like sirens and all different types of fucking weird effects over, and
like
everybody's voices and shit. Yeah. But the guitar, they're familiar. Like, it's fucking guitar, and it's not like really disorienting, but it's still really like dense.
There's like this fuzziness about it. I don't know if you're familiar with like shoegaze music at all.
Notice that was like one of the subgenres littered throughout description and stuff of songs.
It was like semi-popular in the 90s, but I would say shoegaze is like really, really fuzzy rock with like a dreamy aesthetic to it. Like that's probably the most basic way I can.
That's like what this album sounded like.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I fucking liked it though, which like surprised me a lot. But it was also like I just had to get in a mindset of like sometimes the podcast feels like work. But like in a good way. Like it feels like a book report or like an essay sometimes. Like I feel like I have to like sometimes you like have to like I mean you can listen to music and like just take it for like face value and stuff, but like because of the nature of the podcast, like we gotta have something to talk about. So like like you do a lot of work And even like if you do work on shit you don't like for school, like at least you have like a better understanding of like what you were doing.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what the podcast is like, you know? So like you tend to appreciate a little bit of like whatever you're going to review or whatever our subject is.
That's a good way to put it.
One of the things that I feel like that I didn't hear enough get talked about was like the drumming on the album.
I'm glad you said that. The drumming is incredible on this record.
I was gonna say, while going through again the day with notes and like doing like a true like album analysis, like sitting down, and that's the only thing I do, which is usually what I do before podcasts anyway. It like gets me really fresh, very familiar with it. I listen to Quiet, and there's a specific part at like the minute 30 spot. The song like slows down for about 15 to 20 seconds, and I couldn't help but notice it sounded like a Radiohead song. I'll have to show you later. I don't know why,
Really?
but it reminded me of Radiohead. There's just like only 20 seconds, and it's like cymbal, and it's like
I think I know what you're talking about.
and
I
like
think.
the guitar and vocals start drowning out, and then you get like a slow rise in the drumming, and it's like very jazzy and like upbeat, and like then the cymbal is hitting at a like a really fast tempo. Not my fucking tempo. and I like immediately like clicked in my head. I'm like, Radiohead, and then it was like, like it just like picked back up into like heavy ass guitar. It was just like one of those moments where I'm like,
It's funny you say that because like this record like precedes Radiohead.
Yeah.
This is like Radiohead's debut came out in the same year this did, but the Smashing Pumpkins were at a way higher rate of quality than Radiohead was at that point. But yeah, that's a good point.
I was gonna say Radiohead. I mean, their breakout would have been OK Computer, and then it was Kid A.
Yeah, they didn't start getting good till like the Bends and on. So
I actually, dude, I listened to that recently. After the podcast, went and listened to Radiohead. Because we'll play it upstairs later tonight. I'm sure we always do. Like we always play a couple Radiohead songs. And I was like, damn, like we never really talk about the Bends, or like it never really comes up. But I listened to a couple songs.
I love the Bends.
It's
It's very 90s.
yeah,
but
I was gonna say that
it's weird to hear them at like a less advanced stage.
Yeah.
like, playing just straight up Brit rock music.
That's a perfect way to because I'm like, it felt like such a step down, but I also like appreciated it more because I'm like, bro, like this is before like full evolution, man. Like they're about to take off.
That's a lot of people's like favorite record by them.
Really?
Because it's like so stripped down.
Yeah.
Like before they introduced a bunch of new elements into their music, which I get, but it's not one of my favorites.
Piss break.
So before we went on break, you were mentioning the drumming, like how it stood out to you, and you mentioned that there was a jazzy aspect to the drumming on tracks like Quiet. It's interesting because Jimmy Chamberlain, the drummer for the Smashing Pumpkins, was actually a jazz drummer before he got picked up by the band.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
there's a lot of like detail and like nuance, a lot of nuance to like the drumming. The drumming throughout the record is like really active. Like it's always doing something off kilter, like at every moment, and it really like spices up like the rhythm of these songs.
That's the thing, because it's so guitar heavy. Like how we stated, like there's so much overdubbing. It's kind of like you kind of forget that there's like percussion to the songs. Like there's like a constant guitar riff almost always through like the majority of the songs. Like there are a few songs where it's like Disarm, Mayonnaise, Spaceboy has drumming. Those songs like feel a little bit more intimate. They're not as like
Like the drummer's not showing off as much on those.
yeah, and like even the guitar is like toned down a lot on a lot of those songs. Like because songs like is it Cherub?
I usually pronounce it cherub.
Cherub, okay.
Yeah.
That's a new word in my vocabulary.
I have no idea what it means either.
Me neither. Like it just is like really heavy distortion, a constant like rhythm. I saw a description of like a guitar wall, like a constant wall
Of sounds.
that's pushing toward like just like a consistent like push in your fucking ear of heavy guitar. It wasn't a bad thing littered throughout. Like shit like that like just drowns out the percussion a lot. Just because there's just so much guitar, like you just forget. Like I just feel like you forget a lot.
I agree to an extent, but I feel like the way that the drums are produced, The snare is so hard hitting. Although, I mean, like, but a lot of the time the melodic element of the guitars is so interesting that your ears are just going to like drift that way. Like you're just going to be paying attention to that. Maybe on a few listens into the record and you start listening to the drums, you're like, holy shit, the drums on this thing are fucking crazy too.
I feel like some of the album, like the drum helps pick up the verses and like bring you back into the melodic aspects of the song. Like you can just hear like ka, ka, and then it just picks up back into like some of the lyrics. Like I'm trying to think of us. Like Space Boy is one of those songs that makes me think like that because it's like really dreamy, and the beginning of the song is I don't know, it's acoustic, right?
Yeah,
That's one of the acoustic songs. That whole like maybe like a minute and a half, I would say, is like I only can hear like vocals, guitar. You're picking up like to the middle of the song, like the drums come in to like bring the song to like almost like completion, not like finishing the song, but like
bringing it all together.
Yeah, bringing it together. The fucking drums were great because they have like that dreamy quality. I like it. That's like my favorite aspect of the album. Also, the album is like super like complete as a whole. Like it is so perfect. Like no song feels out of place. Yeah. Maybe Silverfuck, but like I feel like that song ties in every aspect of the album into like one giant riff.
Yeah.
Like in a way that
was a song I was going to single out as maybe being disposable, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that sounds harsh.
No, it is the only song though that I think like that. Mm-hmm. Like Sweet Sweet is like an interlude. It's like the only interlude really, but that it still works.
It's interesting coming after Silverfuck though.
Yeah.
That track is such a chaotic mess that we like immediately go into this little, minute and 30-second ditty. I don't want to say folk, but it's like a little dream pop song.
I was going to say, because this is like going to be like a quote, like a running quote, but like in my notes, I put down a delicious transition, folksy banjo-like guitar, has a hillbilly tone to it. Because it like
hillbilly,
it has some fucking bluegrassy fucking quality to it. Because like it's electric, but it's
like the tone
of it. It feels like it reminds me of Sun King from Abbey Road a lot. Like that tone for some reason. It reminds me of like those crickets a lot for some reason.
That makes sense.
It just did for some reason. It's probably just because of that tone, that like the reverb on the guitar. Man, dude, the tones on the guitar fucking wild on this album. Because
some of the solos sound really out there.
Uh-huh. Like in Silverfuck, that song is it reminds me of like a grunge Pink Floyd song.
Okay.
Because it's like just one. The song's like I think it's like 8 minutes, 7 minutes long.
It's about 9 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say. Yeah. It just reminds me because it's like heavy, and then there's like a 2 minutes of like real dreamy, like a dreamy riff. It reminds me of Pink Floyd because Pink Floyd songs, here, Pigs, for example.
Yeah.
I love that song. 3 different ones, specifically. You're going through verse, riff, cool down, verse, riff, cool down, verse, riff, cool down kind of deal. Like, you're getting good songs to do drugs to right here. Like, Silverfuck is that song, I feel like.
It's so odd that this is the one that throughout the podcast, you've gravitated towards talking about.
Yeah.
Because I thought this would be like a least favorite of yours.
Well, I did not like it. Upon reading and research, Billy Corgan said, like, people walk out because they, like, play this song, like, for forever. Like, they play it, like, longer than it's supposed to be. And, like, it's one of those songs that, like, they change up.
You mean, like, when they play live or something?
Yeah, like they know there's, like, no repeating parts kind of deal.
Oh, yeah. It's got a progressive nature to it, for sure.
Yeah, and so, like, they can, like... I think like when they recorded it, they just like picked like a way it was constructed, and like this is the way it was presented. But like I think from what I understood, like they just like can play it pretty much any way they want and like change up and like scrap parts and like bring shit back in. And like they were just like, this is the one, I guess.
Like the jam session that this song originated from was probably like 30 minutes long or something.
I was gonna say like because it said like. Saying something like during concerts it was like 45 minutes long and people like just fucking left.
If I saw them live, I don't want to see a 45-minute rendition of Silverfuck.
No. I've been to some Dave Matthews concerts and sometimes I'm like, bro, this song isn't this long. Like I'm like, this is no. Like
this one doesn't need to go 15 minutes.
I was gonna say like shit like dude, sometimes they'll like 20 minutes on like 41. Like they'll play 41 for like 20 minutes and it's like which is like one of their more popular songs, but I'm like,
well, you need those 3 extra fiddle solos
Yeah.
on your Dave Matthews concert.
and you get like a Carter fucking drum solo, and then bring it back to the sax, bring it back to the trumpet, Dave playing guitar, Tim Reynolds, shit like that,
I guess that's the fun of going to a show, even if like the audience gets tired. But that's like how like a band feels alive. Like that's like really how they like connect on stage. And
Yeah, well, the thing is like you wean them out, man. You wean out the fucking fans, like like are you here or not, like kind of deal.
Yeah, wean out the posers.
Wean out the fucking. I listen to Satellite and 41 and fucking whatever.
Ants marching.
Fuck you. Don't even. Like I'm too fucking educated with Dave Matthews because my childhood is like 2003 Chevy Trailblazer, fucking backseat, Austin and Blake Purdue, Dave Matthews every day of my life. I just fucking know way too much. I don't know.
That shit's ingrained in your DNA.
Dude, Dave Matthews helped construct my childhood. Thank you, Dave.
What are like the standout tracks for you on this record?
Today and Disarm. I mean, I don't want to like go on for too long about them, but like I fall in the category of not thinking Today was a happy song until further examination.
So you read the story about what it's really about.
Yes. Well, because like it probably one of the aspects that plays into it is like how I said earlier, like sometimes you don't understand what Billy Corgan's saying, and so you only pick out the positives, the positive lyrics of like Today is the greatest, whatever. And then, but you don't look and see like he's talking about the irony of some of his lyrics is like, yeah, today's the greatest because I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Like I don't have to worry no more.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
or like today is the greatest because it can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Like it can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Both of those ideologies right there.
And it's weird. It is a real thing though. Like, I mean, I've been extremely depressed before, so like, I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's a real fucking thing. And it's like you think like you're alone and like no one gives a fuck and like you're really alienated. Dude, fucking looking back on it, you're like, bro, what a fucking bitch I was. But like, like this
you just get trapped in your own head sometimes. Like I know how it is.
Yeah.
I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah, same. Like it fucking, I mean, I don't know, dude, this album connected with me so much. Like, you learn to live well. You learn to live, and it's like kind of fucking cliche, but like, I don't know, dude. You just like learn to live better, and you learn to like, yeah, it's just like not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, even though like shit is a big deal, like I'm like, well, times aren't that anymore. So, you learn to fucking get with the program, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking weird.
What, depression?
Yeah. Because, like, a majority of my, like, literally half of my life has been like, bro, I fucking hate today. Like, and then it's like, now it's like, bro, quit being a pussy. Like, come on, man. Like, life is good. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Even if you ignore the subject matter of this song, it's a really great pop tune. I mean, like from a melodic standpoint and everything, it's very simple. I mean, it's like it's got the usual 90s quiet verse, explosive chorus. The main riff of this song. Have you ever seen the music video for this?
I have not. I've heard it's like good.
It's like the band riding around in an ice cream truck. Like in a desert somewhere.
What?
And I think the main riff legitimately sounds like an ice cream truck tune.
Ah.
Like maybe that's where they got the inspiration for the video or something. But
okay.
I can't unhear it now.
Okay. So probably every time you hear this song now, you're like, I want a Spider-Man popsicle.
Exactly. I want a Choco Taco or something.
Oh, you're the Choco Taco guy, eh?
I never had a usual ice cream truck order. I would just get whatever I felt like.
It was either Screwball, SpongeBob, or Spider-Man. And it was Sonic if they didn't have fucking SpongeBob.
Yeah. The ones with the gummy eyes.
Yeah. But like the gum is like a rock. Bro, what the who the fuck designs these things? Okay, so listen, like you're eating an ice cream, you got to get rid of the gum or it's going to fall out. And so you're chewing gum while eating a popsicle / ice cream. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just leave them out. Just leave them out, one or the other, man. Like, I don't want, because, like, you eat ice cream while you're chewing gum, the gum gets cold, it's hard to chew, and you're like, I got to take this shit out now. And you're like, bro, I haven't even finished, and there's fucking 2 of them. Like, I got to do this twice. I have to do this twice.
Well, you have to sacrifice one.
Yeah.
You either eat the ice cream or you only have one gumball.
And if you have the gum in, and you have it in after the ice cream's gone, it, like, becomes like the most plastic fucking flavor you've ever had in your life because there's nothing left. Bro, fuck ice cream.
I have an observation.
What's up?
You're so full of stoner thoughts tonight. I say that with the most positive of meaning.
Bruh. I'm so high right now, bro. No, I'm not. Well, maybe that's just my ADHD, but like I think I have all kinds of stoner thoughts all the time.
This whiskey's hitting you different, I think.
Yeah, I'm also just really excited.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I want more whiskey. I'll drink this beer first.
I want more whiskey too.
Yeah, Today's a good song, man. It's that fucking de facto single type shit. Like,
there's a reason it was so popular. I mean, it really is a catchy tune, and they still play it on the radio, like even today. So.
Oh, 100%. Trying to think of other songs. Well, we can talk about Disarm.
This one's kind of like it sticks out. Like, I mean, there are like kind of like ballad-esque tracks, like Sweet Sweet and Space Boy, but this one sticks out with like all of the extra like string instrumentation and the church bells.
Yeah, I was gonna say church bell.
Like, this one really is like way different than any other track on the record. After like the 5 first tracks of like fuzzy stoner shoegaze psychedelic rock,
Yeah.
like when Disarm comes on, it's like, whoa, here's a clear-headed like sad ballad about Billy Corgan's childhood, and it's interesting.
Yeah, well, it probably helps single it out a lot. It probably helps you pay attention a lot more. Yeah, the production on it is like less disorienting, like less fuzzy, like you said. It's got like a power chord acoustic.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 kind of fast tempo.
Very persistent rhythm.
Bro, this is such... I don't really think about it until now, like upon like deeper analysis. I probably heard this song, I don't know, 25 times, let's say 25 times. Just like never thought about it. I was always like, what does this mean? Disarm you with a smile. Like, what does that mean? Never like really understood like what the message or like the context of the song was until like research. Bro, Billy Corgan has lived like a crazy life. Like as a child, like...
Did you look into his childhood?
Yeah, like because he was like abused by both of his parents. And then like he had to like raise his younger brother, which was like handicapped, Jesse. And
I knew he had a handicapped brother because that's what Space Boy is about.
Yeah. He kind of like had to help raise his brother, like become like foster parent, like, you know, like that like probably is like more prevalent than like I realize, like by people I know and shit. Like I feel like probably happens a lot more than people want it to. Bro, we deliver to like some shitty parts of town sometimes, and I'm just like thinking like, bro, how are these kids growing up sometimes? I remember one specific instance where I'm delivering and I'm waiting at this door, and like this lady is sitting on her porch, and like all these kids are out playing in the street and shit, and then this kid comes up to this like almost like grandma. She's like as old enough to be my grandma, and he's like, this kid has my scooter, and she looks at him and goes, you go back there and you tell him to get the fuck off your scooter right now. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck is going... Like what the hell is... like?
You would never imagine, like, your parents trying to raise you that way.
Yeah, I'm like...
in such a harsh manner.
Yeah.
We see some shit delivering.
Dude, I've seen too much sometimes.
I've seen such horrible living situations. Like, people opening the door and, like, you can't see the carpet in their house because it's, like, covered in...
Garbage,
yeah. Like maple syrup
junk.
Bottles and cardboard boxes and...
Dude, like people's porches. I've delivered to houses where people's porches are covered with shit. Like hoarding amounts of shit. Like end tables, chairs.
You deliver to the same house for years and then...
Nothing ever changes. Like they do this every day. And then you gotta think they're raising kids, well, barely raising them, within like these living standards. And I'm like, whoa. Dude, I got it fucking good compared to these people. Yeah, man, like you just see shit. I've seen people fucking overdose. Not like at that house, but like a few doors down, and like people are getting like put on an ambulance, and I'm like,
same.
I'm like,
probably in Middletown.
Yep, of course, the best place on earth, ladies and gentlemen, Middletown, Ohio. Start manufacturing some steel, bro, and do some heroin.
Yeah,
like I don't know, I don't get it.
Is it the city motto?
I guess I don't know.
Might as well be.
Stay dirty, my friends. Dude, the air. There's a smell to the fucking air.
I'm sure we're all breathing in some kind of like steel component that's been broken off by heat.
I think those people like get paid. Like the people that live close enough to the plant get like
I hope so.
money. They get like money because of the living conditions. Like they get like their house cleaned and stuff by the city because their house gets covered in like soot. Mm-hmm. It's just wild.
Feels illegal.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. Like you think they would have thought, hey, maybe we shouldn't put houses here.
I think they were built for like steel workers originally, and then
Live close.
eventually they just went, anyone can live here, I guess. Look at us getting off track again.
Fuck, dude, it's hard. It's hard. We're having a good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to beat Disarm over the head though, because I feel like it's probably been talked about plenty.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good tune.
It is.
I mean, it's definitely memorable. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit.
Go for it.
And I'll say that I think this is one of, like, I love the melody of this song, but I think that it's one of Billy Corgan's most overwrought, like, vocal performances. Where, like, I know he's like a tortured guy, but he's like really playing up the torturedness on this one. When I initially recommended this album, I thought that Billy Corgan's voice was gonna be like a make or break kind of thing for you. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this guy sounds like he always has like a sinus infection.
Yeah, well, I said earlier, he sounds like really nasally.
Yeah. And like just the way, like, I mean, sometimes he sounds like really fitting on top of the songs. Mm-hmm. And then other times I'm like, God, he's like really got help. He's got that like snarl to his voice.
Yeah. I think a lot of the songs work well for that reason because not like he's a terrible vocalist, but like sometimes
he's unique at least.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like when I hear his voice, I'm like Smashing Pumpkins. Mm-hmm. I think some of like the heavy instrumentation helps drown out some of the negative qualities.
That's a good point.
Which is fun. Music is the combination of all the instrumentation and vocals put together. So I mean, you can't. There's a reason why it works, and there's a reason why it doesn't, and it's all subjective based on the subject matter.
Yeah,
I mean, it works. It works well in this aspect.
I agree.
For that reason.
That's the reason why I am not a huge fan of all of their work, because like the Smashing Pumpkins are like not one of my favorite bands. Like I think that this record is a classic, and I think that the record that comes after this, the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, are really great. Mm-hmm. But after that, yeah, what a title. I think that like their output from like 2000s and onward, I just can't get behind it. No. And they kind of abandoned the fuzzy, like shoegaze kind of aesthetic. So this was like a good point in time where like they had the right sound that fit his voice
and the right like thematic quality to accompany.
Exactly.
I think we've said it before, but like it's probably like the case with a lot of bands like from the 90s and stuff, like Weezer. Like Weezer has a sound that they've never changed, and there's like a specific era of Weezer that works well. Mm-hmm. And I know like their recent record was like I think it like received like pretty well, like critical acclaim. I think it probably like
it did all right.
Probably like average, like middle of the pack kind of record, but 7, 8, whatever.
I'll say I didn't like it.
Oh, I didn't listen to it, so I'll take your word for it. Yeah, like bands like Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's a great example.
They have like a golden era.
They have a golden era, and same with like same with Pink Floyd, dude.
Yeah,
it's the same with like
post 70s. Like a lot of their music kind of like sucked. Honestly,
yeah. It's okay though. Like if you go to their concerts, it's like I want to hear the shit that I like, and they're gonna play the shit that you like, and
most likely
even Dave Matthews. Like I remember specifically they played one of their more recent songs at one of the shows, like off of their more recent records. I remember a lot of people like got up to go get alcohol, and my mom was like, "This is what real fans stay here for. They want to hear this shit." And I'm like, "Fair enough." But like you don't pay attention to like the new shit when you have like such a golden era, like a window of opportunity of like popularity and acclaim. Mm-hmm. That's the case with a lot of bands. I mean.
I have a story that pertains to this kind of.
Go for it.
I saw Paul McCartney in concert in 2019, and he was promoting like some kind of new solo record. Mm-hmm. When he played, I mean, it was like 90% Beatles songs and like stuff with like Wings, the band. And he made a comment at the show, and he said, "It's funny whenever we play old Beatles songs, the stadium lights up with like cameras and like people recording the performance." And he's like, when I play a new song, it's like a black hole in here. So like, I think artists are aware of that.
Oh, for sure. The vibe changes in the audience. Like people stop dancing and people like stand still.
They want to hear the hits.
Yeah, 100%.
There's very few bands that like keep fans on the train,
Like,
the
keep
hype
'em-
train, like
yeah.
throughout their entire career.
I'm trying to think of a band that does, honestly.
I hate to sound biased, but Radiohead's kind of like that. Like their fans are usually pretty consistent, like with liking all their records, but
But I feel like
they also have very obsessive fans. So
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I feel like if you're going to a Radiohead concert, you're like, yeah, man, I feel shit too, man. Like, I'm here for it. Kind of, you know what I mean?
they're the type of band that like people will follow every record. And the Smashing Pumpkins are a band where if you go to their show, most people have probably only listened up to Melancholy and The Infinite Sadness.
That's some Blink 182 concert shit, you know? It's just like, let me hear it.
Like time to take a piss break or go get a beer because they're playing a new song.
Let's get some nachos. Bro, concert food's weird. You ever think about that?
As in overpriced and not very good.
Yeah, unless there's like a truck. Unless there's a food truck at the venue, shit changes.
And
But
I've never been that lucky.
when we went to the Dave concert, it was at I think it used to be like the Verizon. I think it used to be a Verizon Wireless arena.
In Indiana,
Yeah,
I've seen a few shows there.
I cannot remember what it's called off the top of my head. Dude, it's like a better Riverbend because the hill is so elevated. Like the lawn tickets. Dude, lawn tickets are like, that's where it's at. Because like when you're at Riverbend here in Cincinnati, there's like a gradual slope to the lawn from the seats, and it feels like you're so far away. Mm-hmm. It feels like you're like so far away from the stage. But at God, I wish I knew the name of the one in Indiana.
It used to be called it started with a K. It was a very hard to pronounce word.
Yeah, it's a weird one. But to my point, the lawn goes. There's such a high degree of elevation on the lawn that it's basically like seats and then like almost a 40, not a 45, maybe like
90-degree angle.
almost like, yeah, well, like it's like literally almost it's like almost fucking damn near straight up. So like it's such a good venue to like go see a concert in the lawn.
No, you're right.
Because you're less far away and you're more elevated and you can just like you feel a lot closer than you really are. But also I think maybe the lawn isn't as big as Riverbend, so that may also be the case. Riverbend's a good venue though.
It's hit or miss for me.
Really?
I've seen some really great shows there, and I've seen some where like I thought it sucked.
I think the PNC Pavilion there though, because it's a little bit more intimate. It's still pretty big. Honestly, it's a pretty big venue.
I've only seen one show there, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I saw Logic there.
Did you?
Yeah.
That'd be a good place to see him.
It was, dude. It was a fucking killer concert. Dude, he puts on a good ass show. Me and you both liked No Pressure. I went and saw him. It was right after The Incredible True Story, and I think the Bobby Tarantino mixtape had just dropped recently before that concert. So it was really good. It was before he like kind of hit it like a black hole. Like if he would have played some of this shit,
Some like Supermarket or something, or
yeah. What's the other one called?
Not Ill Mind.
Ill Mind of Hobson.
It's a Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yeah, that shit sucks. There's one song on that album that I like, and I like it for 45 seconds. And it's like the outro. It's got some weird like space pop fucking vibe to it, and then it sucks.
He's a inconsistent.
Bro, we're all over the place with this.
Bro, you keep taking us
I'm
there.
sorry. Bro, can we talk about Mayonnaise?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, good. This is my favorite track on the record.
Mine too.
Ah, fuck yeah, let's go.
Piss break.
So you were mentioning that Mayonnaise is one of your favorite tracks, or it is your favorite track on the record, right?
Yeah, I got two, but yeah.
What is it about this track that sticks out to you or makes it one of your favorites?
Something about like the repetition of the guitar I like.
That main arpeggio is gorgeous.
It's spicy. It's good.
Yes.
And also like the intro and the outro. I couldn't help but think we were because me and you after the last podcast listened to the second Tree Sessions by Dance Gavin Dance. Mm-hmm. We discussed like, oh, that's not a guilty pleasure, bro. This shit slaps. Because you are right. Like, it's not a guilty pleasure. Like, you're allowed to like it.
Dance Gavin Dance is a really technical band, you know, and from an instrumental standpoint. I think the breaking point for most people is like the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're real funky, man.
Yeah, instrumentally, I mean, they're crazy.
Don't want to get too off topic, but
Yeah.
the intro, because they're like live sessions, before they start the songs, they like lead in
Do a little jam.
like a little jam beforehand. That's how like this song is. It's like intro and outro or like that.
Yeah,
Like warms you up.
this song perfectly like brings you in and then takes you out of the track. Like, I mean, and I think it does it better than any of the other songs on the record.
There's like a lyric in this song that I'm like, bro, that's some deep shit. It was like one of my favorites.
What's that?
It's I'm rumored to the straight and narrow, while the heralds of my peril scream.
You might have to decipher this for me, because I think that a lot of the poetry on this record is a little thick.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It was like saying like, now that everybody knows that I'm good, it's like you perceive me. It's like that shit's in the past, but while the heralds of my peril scream, being like, no, I still carry this shit around.
Okay, that I'm glad you said that.
Like, I still carry that shit around, and I haven't forgotten, but I'm good. Like, I'm good, man. You, like, learn to live better. There's, like, a day that goes by where I'm like, nah, I remember that, and I'll never forget it. But, like, you just learn to live with it better.
Yeah.
That's just the way, like, true pain and suffering that, like, and everyone has it, and not everybody talks about it, but, like, that's just the way it is. And, like, you, like, learn.
Like you're putting on like a facade for the outside world.
Yeah, and, like, not that that's a bad thing. Like, look, social life is a very complex thing. There's many layers to it, but, like, the way I see it is, like, I'm not going to act like no shit never happened to me, and, like, I'll talk about it if anybody wants to know, and, like, I'll, like, give my 2 cents if you want it. Like, you learn to live. Like, I'll never forget it, and I'll, like, my best lessons in life and my best moral baseline comes from that shit, and I'll never forget it. I'm not just my experiences type of deal. Not to get, like, super poetic, like, bro, I like to have fucking fun. Don't get me wrong. But, like, you know, I just never forget. I never forget, like, some shit I've been through.
Yeah.
It hits me every day. Yeah, I just, like, learn to remember, and, like, some days are better than others. I feel like this was one of those songs where it was, like, kind of pointing that out, because, like, the whole song is, like, one giant depressive episode. I feel like it was a good way to, like, to point out, like, nah, it's gonna be good. I just won't forget. It's like that's what forgiveness is. It's not forgive and forget. It's no, I'll never forget what you did to me. You know, we're good. Like, it's okay. I'll never forget, but I forgive you.
I'm so glad that you deciphered this lyric, because like earlier I was criticizing the overwrought nature of some of the poetry and the lyrics on this record, but I mean, like, that makes a lot of sense, and then that's something I can relate to.
And the other thing is like, you can criticize getting beat over the head with, like, the thematic quality of the record. Oh man, I'm depressed, and let me tell you about it. That's just how it is, man. Like, you just don't forget. You can tell people, and, like, that's okay. I'm not just, like, my experiences is, like, kind of what I got from it. He had gone through so much and, like, had to grow up so fast. I feel like this song specifically, just like, hey, I'm good, but, like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's complex, man. Life is complex.
That was a very unexpected deep dive.
Sorry.
No. That's not a negative thing. I was expecting you to just like this track. It was like a ballad, but like in loud form and like more melodic than a lot of the other songs.
Don't get me wrong. I loved it for that aspect too.
Like I was just thinking that you would like tackle it from that angle, but I mean, like I was not expecting that. I'm glad you said that, because it really kind of deciphered the lyrics for me. But this is a beautiful song.
It's great, dude. We're fucking playing it after the podcast is over. We're gonna listen to some of the songs on this record.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah, because I couldn't even play them in the car. I'm like, if I play this shit, like, I'm gonna want to talk about it. I'm like, bro, listen, this shit's so good.
One of the defining characteristics of this song, when the guitar hits this like certain melodic phrase, and then it stops, and like there's like this screeching feedback distortion. It's like very brief. I've never heard that like used in a track before, and it's like done really brilliantly.
Is it like a synthesizer? I would assume.
What, the feedback?
Yeah,
it's just guitar.
Is it?
Apparently, like, Billy Corgan owned this really old shitty guitar, and like whenever you would strum a chord and then like stop it, it would have the screech at the end. So they implemented that into the recording.
What a
somehow.
way.
Most people would be like, throw this guitar in the trash.
Yeah. Like, I'll never use this shit again. This shit's unsavable. That's funny.
But it kind of adds to like the bittersweet feeling of the track itself. I mean, like it is like a
Yeah.
very sweet song, but I don't know, that ugly dissonant feedback is done so well.
Dude, the production on this record is crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. There's like something like really unique about every track, even though like it feels like kind of like generic, like way to start off the record with like a really heavy distortion grunge feel. It's one of the few songs that like feel super generic and like it's kind of.
Damn, I disagree so hard.
Damn, fuck.
I love that song, dude.
I do too.
The way that track opens up feels very theatrical.
Well, like I didn't mean it in a negative aspect.
You mean like
I mean like it's like the
it's very like anthemic and
yeah, like
a de facto kind of like radio single or something.
Yeah, I'm pointing out that like all the guitar parts they're all unique and they all work cohesively, but they're not like repetitive in a way that makes a song sound like another song. It's a positive, like coming from that. I'm not saying like
No, yeah.
No, it's a good song. No, I'm not. I wasn't like knocking it like that. Like it's a good thing.
You know what song I really fucking love on this record?
Tell me.
It's my favorite other than Mayonnaise. I love the song Hummer.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't know if this would be one of your favorites or not, but this one, like, from a structural standpoint, like,
Wild.
it feels like it's very progressive, but it doesn't, like, overstay its welcome. Looking at
like
the
7.
timestamp, it's 6 minutes and 57 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
7 minutes. But, I mean, it never gets repetitive. It never feels like it stays too long on one instrumental idea. Like, it's just constantly moving. But it also doesn't feel like a clusterfuck at the same time.
Yeah. Yes. That's okay. There's like clean guitar, heavy guitar, some humming guitar. Like the guitar is like a constant hum. Like it feels like a hum of feedback.
Like the main riff.
Yeah.
Like the
and like shit's layered in a way that like you're like hopping between like these different tones.
yeah.
It's like really unique. And yeah, there's no repeating parts, like in one part of the song. I forget what I said earlier. Maybe it was Quiet that I said that on. Yeah, I think it was. I think I said that there's no repeating parts. Maybe that was Quiet. But it's Hummer. There's no repeating parts in Hummer. That's the song that they put together as like a whole. Or maybe I said that about Silverfuck. That's what I did. This like song specifically like helps showcase like the range of the album because like
I completely agree.
I was gonna say like in the first three songs is like you're getting like grunge. Quiet's like kind of getting to the range a little bit, and it's like really aggressive. And then like Today is like cool off,
like the catchy like pop song of the
yeah,
record.
de facto type singles. And then like Hummer is like nah bitches, like we're
Like here's like some progressive rock
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
I mean, this track starts in a really interesting way. It fades in with this very fuzzy, like Middle Eastern sounding melody before like the drums and the bass come in. And then you get this like big anthemic wash of like power chords. But then the verse is like angelic and like kind of graceful. And I don't know, like this song just like structures itself really interesting. But I think the most captivating part of this track is actually like the last minute and 30 seconds where it quiets down.
Yeah, I have it written down. It says the song really cools down towards the end.
The outro is so I just use the word angelic, but it's majestic or something.
Yeah. It's like hard to like nail the tone of the album cuz like some of the album feels like really warm and then like in the same song you'll be like nah, like this is like a cool like sad tone. And then you'll be like nah, bro, the humming of the guitar makes it really warm.
I was having the same thought today. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I've always associated this record with being like a summer album. Like even though it's like dark and stuff, but like the fuzziness and like maybe it's like the
Like brings a temperature, like that constant hum and fuzz, like littered throughout. Like is so warm.
It is a warm feeling. It really is.
But then it's like same. You get like the same irony because like you're getting like clean guitar and like dreamy percussion and then like you're getting like acoustic cool down songs like Disarm and like even like Mayonnaise is like really cold even though like it sounds like really angelic. It's like hard to like it's hard to nail the tone.
It's a conflicting tones hitting each other for sure. I think that like the way that Hummer kind of like goes from like that loud to that very quiet like instrumentally like atmospheric part. A couple other tracks do that too. Like there's like a portion of like Geek USA
Yeah.
that we haven't really talked about that track yet, which for the most part that song is like pummeling.
Dude, when I was a kid, me and Blake had a PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah.
You ever played like ATV, like motocross games?
Like the off-road games? Yeah.
That fucking song, bro.
Is it on? Is it on one of the games?
I'm just saying, like, it reminds me of that. Because during those games, like, there's a constant soundtrack of, like, I don't know, what do you say?
Angsty rock music. Like a Tony Hawk or something.
Yeah,
or,
like
Dave Mira's like a BMX or something like that.
Like some Breaking Benjamin, some Rise Against, like, you know, shit like that. Like Papa Roach. Like this song, for some reason I wrote down motocross soundtrack, like from my childhood. Like it just reminds me of it.
This song is like pummeling though. I mean, the drumming is like probably the craziest that it gets throughout the entire record on this one. Even this track that's like super heavy and like in your face takes a brief second to like cool down and give you a little dreamy like aesthetic to it. The track Soma is like the inverse of that structure because other songs will like be loud and then briefly go into the quiet.
I was gonna say
the song is like quiet that goes into loud for a brief moment.
Slightly like psychedelic. At like around 4 minutes, you get like you move into that alt rock.
Yeah, like it kind of comes out of nowhere. Too.
Yeah, it is the inverse though. You're right. I didn't think about it like that.
Of like the formula of the record, right?
Yeah, because it's like heavy with littered angelic relaxation, and then you get like this one song that's like you said, the inverse, the complete opposite. It's like angelic with the littering of heaviness.
This is the one track on the album where like I always forget that it's there, and when I go back to listen to it and I hear this song, it's like an epiphany every time for me.
Damn, bro.
Like, holy shit, like, this song's crazy. Like, why? Like, when I think about the record, I always characterize it by, like, songs like the singles, like Today and Disarm and Cherub Rock. And I think about Hummer and Mayonnaise. And those will be, like, the 5 defining songs of this record for me. But then when I hear Soma, I'm like, this song is, like, so angelic. How come I never think about this one?
I'm on a different boat than you, though, when it comes to, like, songs I'll pick out. Like, I mean, I can listen to Today and Disarm, but I feel like I've heard them too many times to want to care.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, Today and Disarm aren't, like, my favorites, but they're, like, I think about them because they're big.
Mine would be, like, Mayonnaise, Space Boy, probably, like, that and, like, Luna.
I was about to say, I feel like you like the track Luna.
I do.
Is it because my dog's named that?
No. Even though she's the love of my life. She's like my dog girlfriend. Like, when I see her, I'm like, oh, my God, I love you. She's my, what do you call it? My long-distance dog relationship. Every time I see her, I'm like, you're my best friend.
That's fair enough. Luna's a good dog.
She is a good dog. Willow's a good dog, too. I'm so mean to Willow. Not as mean as I have been. Sometimes I'll, like, call her to pet, and, like, she doesn't want pet. And I'm like, I'm trying to love you. Like, she's like, I don't want it.
She's a little funny.
She fucking hates me, bro.
It's because you've been a dick for so...
I'm
just kidding.
You're probably right. She's probably like, man, fuck this guy. Why do you keep having him over?
That's why she'll chew on your hat tonight when you go to bed.
Probably fucking right, dude. I'll, like, look at her in the morning, and I'll be like, what the fuck, man? She's like, I heard your ass talking about me.
You know what track on this record has never really clicked with me?
What?
There's, like, maybe 2 or 3. The song Rocket.
Dude, I have no fucking note written down for this song. I think my brain turned off when it came on.
Like, this song has interesting elements to it, but, like, every time I hear it, it has never, like, broken the wall for me. Like, it's never permeated my brain for any reason.
There is always a song on every album that we listen to, I swear, that we're like, yeah, I kind of forgot about this one.
It's not bad.
No.
Like, I think, the guitar melody is memorable. The many, like, guitar overdubs that are done on this track, like, there's, like, these spacey, delayed tracks that really do kind of sound like interstellar and spacey, and, I mean, like, they
feels
nail...
like blast off kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean...
Like a launch.
The last, like, 30 seconds is a blast off.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, like, the best musical, at least, like, in a rock sense, the best equivalent I've ever heard of, like, a rocket launching off. And it's really cool, but... the tune doesn't translate for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is.
Like, I'm not going to have much to say for that reason. Because, like,
yeah,
dude, I'm going to forget about this song. And, like, I'm going to, like...
This is, like, one of, like, the most beloved tracks in the album, too.
Really?
It was a single. And it was, like, decently big.
Nah, dude. No,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
No, I mean,
something
like,
about it, man. I'm just like, all right. It's not a bad song. I mean, I'm not like... I feel like we did it like with Daft Punk, for example. There was a couple songs I'm like, yeah, this song's good, but like I don't remember it like after this. And like I don't even remember the names of them right now. I remember there's like 2 tracks in the back half of the record that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that those exist.
I think even like the most like classic of records,
there's always like a black sheep or like some...
The most 10 out of 10 record
They always have
There's
some
always
shit.
that track.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is one of those for me.
Yeah, you're right. I want to talk about Space Boy.
Okay.
Like the acoustic guitar is like the main aspect I feel like of this song. This is like one of the songs where it's like pulling away from like the heavy riff and like a lot of like the overdub, and it's like a little bit more like intimate, and it obviously is like intimate and personal because like it's specifically talking about his younger brother Jesse that's handicapped being Space Boy. I love the way that this song sounds. It's so hard to describe. It just feels like a love song to your bro. like the lyrics or whatever you choose, it won't be wrong. Whatever you choose, we won't belong. Being like outcast, like them both being outcast, and like I did my research because as they got older, he became less like a father figure to him and more like a friend, saying like, I can be whatever role you want, you know, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then like, no matter what, bro, like we're fucking outcasts, so don't worry about it, kind of deal.
Yeah.
I love like the intimacy. I feel like there's like few songs that I can think of where it's like an artist talking about a sibling in like such an intimate and personal way. It feels like really unique in that aspect.
I agree. Is it controversial for me to say that I think this is the superior ballad on the record as compared to like Disarm?
No, dude. To me, like they stick out more than them. I think it's like it's such a more unique topic, I guess.
Yeah, as opposed
you're talking
to like
about,
a relationship or like childhood or something.
Yeah, like talking about like your handicapped brother that you had to raise, and like just feeling like that relationship dynamic and like portraying that in a song is just like so interesting. And it also is just like a really beautiful song. Like it sounds amazing.
This one like resonates with me more emotionally than any other song on the record.
Yeah.
Besides like maybe like Mayonnaise. And that's like the other like one that hits me a little harder. But yeah, I'm glad that you singled this one out because
these are my 2 favorites, Mayonnaise and Space Boy.
This one doesn't seem to be singled out as often.
Really? I figured that people would love this, like give this a lot of praise.
This ain't like one of the defining tracks of this record for most people.
Damn, like
even
I
me,
loved it.
When I think about it, like when I think about the record, I don't think back to this one super often.
That's good. I'm gonna be the opposite. I'm only gonna think like this is gonna be one of those songs where I think about that.
But every time like that opening slide acoustic guitar comes in, I'm like, oh yeah, this song's really great.
Yeah.
Like I'm stupid for forgetting it.
I will play it many a time after this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. Dude, the great thing about listening to an album as a whole is that you just find fucking gems that are like lost and not included in like playlists. It's just like nice to find shit that you're like, damn, like why don't people talk about this? Like songs like that where I'm just like, and Mayonnaise where I'm like, fuck, like this is impeccable. Like,
I don't know, because time keeps chugging along and there's always new music to catch on to, and
you got fucking a bunch of horse shit. Dude, call me a fucking old soul, but like, do you ever just feel like that a lot of like the top hits suck ass?
Yes, but I think it's kind of always been that way.
Well, like, think about this. Like, the Beatles were like always on the top.
But if you think about it, like other artists were on top around that time.
Yeah.
Like maybe like in the number 2 spot.
And they're probably forgotten.
Yeah, like,
well,
certain stuff just gets remembered and other stuff gets forgotten, and that's just how history is. I mean, it's weird.
History is weird. Let's talk about Luna. It'd be a great way to wrap it up anyway.
What a good dog. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude. Love her in my life.
This track is kind of forgotten a lot of the time, too.
From what I understand, it's like a love song written to a person that didn't know that Billy Corgan loved. They didn't know that he is in love with them. Like, it's rumored that it's Courtney Love, but like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know. It's like,
I'm actually not sure.
It's a really like ambiguous. You don't really understand like what the context of the emotion driving the song is, but it's a really beautiful song.
Yeah, this one really is beautiful.
it's like if Space Boy was a love song to a lover instead of, like a love song and appreciation of a brother. And it's such a peaceful way to end the album. There's like some like high points of the record that are like fucking heavy, and like how we said earlier that like explore the range of a band and like the sound you can achieve within one song. And like songs with like Silverfuck and Hummer, and even like Soma, going from like soft to loud to soft again. And like I feel like this is such a good way to like cool off the album as like an outro.
I agree. Like, I'm glad they didn't go for like a big epic finale or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect. Like, all of the heavy cuts can be like towards the middle to beginning range. Because I mean, this album ends with Sweet Sweet and Luna. If you cut Silverfuck, which I think maybe they could have, I'm not sure if that's a controversial opinion or not, but if you cut Silverfuck, the last trio of tracks would be Space Boy, Sweet Sweet, and Luna. And I think that would be a perfect way to send the record off.
I like Silverfuck, but it's not in like an album contextually. I like it in a way is that it feels like a Pink Floyd grunge song. Like
Yeah.
I only appreciate it in that aspect.
I agree.
It's not perfect though. Like, I mean, I'm not going to enjoy it every time I turn it on. I got to be in a mood for it.
Yeah, it's not one I ever like single out on its own or anything.
I get like really like kind of lost in it though, like towards the middle to the back half of that song, which just reminds me of the Pink Floyd aspect of it.
Do you know why I don't like that song that much?
Why?
Well, I can't say I don't like it, but
Does it resonate with you as much?
there's a portion at the end of the song where like all the guitars drop out and like the bass and drums are the only instrumental portions that are left. And Billy Corgan delivers these lines about like bang bang you're dead.
Oh yeah,
Like, and
I kind of forgot about that.
every time I hear it, it like gives me a little bit of cringe. And
Now
I'm
you
like,
know how I feel about Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
No,
Bang bang Maxwell's.
That's a good tune.
No,
That's a good tune.
that's a fucking bar fucking ditty. I disagree. We agree to disagree.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was like a good dreamy way to end the album.
I'm glad you like really took to this because I wasn't sure if you were going to.
I mean, it was hard. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had to like put myself in like in a state of mind that like was ready to like receive the album, because like I disagreed with it at first. So I'm just like, and I was like, I literally was so anxious. I'm like, and you're on vacation. And I'm like, man, like I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Like, I don't want to come back from vacation and be disappointed that I didn't like it. Fuck, man, I'm not gonna like this record.
I knew that I was like taking a gamble.
Well, you fucking mirrored me with the last recommendation anyway, with the King. So this is how it is.
Yeah.
We push the comfort zone, man.
Yeah, we want to challenge each other. I think that's like kind of the fun.
It is the fun. Episodes like this are like usually the most like exciting and the most like I have like the most revelations of like what can I appreciate. Like I said earlier, it helps it like increases my catalog of like shit I can recommend and like shit I can appreciate and like recommend people. Like if people are like, oh, I like this, I'm like, oh, have you ever heard? Or like, oh, have you ever seen? Like, help, it just like increases my knowledge. It's fun. It's really like that's my favorite part.
Do you think that your appreciation of this album would cause you to check out other 90s alt rock or maybe like have a more open ear to stuff like that?
Well, I want to listen to their next record after this.
Melancholy is definitely worthy of a listen. Although I'm not sure if I've told you this before, but like I really don't like double albums, which is what that record is.
Okay.
It's 30 songs. And I
So
think
I'll have to take it one step at a time.
double albums are, in my opinion, usually...
Like you hate the White Album for that reason.
Yeah, like I usually think that like you can cut down a double album to...
An album.
Yeah, 14, go like 12 to 14 tracks of the best material, and then there you go.
Save the rest for a fucking deluxe edition.
Yeah, or like cut the other tracks for an EP or something. Or
Yeah.
It kills me.
That's gonna say like was Scorpion by Drake a double album?
Yes.
Yeah, like what the fuck, dude?
I don't think it would have been good if it was a single album, but I mean, it would have been a whole lot more tolerable to get through.
I'm kind of upset that he came up on the podcast because he's not worthy of it. But
On the Smashing Pumpkins podcast, it might be a little out of place.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talk about all sorts of shit on here.
we
Talk about Brockhampton and Radiohead and Frank Ocean and whatever.
the difference in lawn elevation in a concert venue.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was a good record though. Like now it's like with the Beatles. Like I'll throw on Abbey Road. Like I'll throw on songs from Abbey Road because I fucking love them. Like
Yeah, and I'll throw on tracks from Daft Punk and
there you go.
whatnot now. So
my loose recommendation. Fuck it. It's a fucking it's a rating. Like nah, this is my fucking final answer. This is the verdict. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
wow, okay.
It's fucking damn near perfect, but songs like Rocket, shit like Silver Fuck.
I think even Quiet, it's kind of like in the lower tier of tracks for
Yeah,
me.
exactly. This record, considering the context of like the era of music, like pushing the limits of production, like being really experimental for like the 90s of grunge, alt rock era, I appreciate it a lot. It reminded me of some of my favorite songs, like from Pink Floyd. It reminded me of some of my like favorite intimate songs, like from like My Chemical Romance, and I appreciated the intimacy, and I appreciated like a lot of like the thematic qualities. The production was crazy. Again, like the overdubbing of guitar, like achieving like different moods and tones throughout a singular song within like 5 to 6 minutes is like really hard to do, even like by today's standards. And so like I liked it a lot and I appreciated it, but like it's crazy to think that I liked it so much because at first I'm like,
I would also give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to go so high on it.
I appreciated it.
For both of us, if we both want to give some key tracks, if you have to name 3 or 4, what's your track picks?
I'm sure a lot of people have heard Disarm and Today, so let's leave them out. But like Mayonnaise, Space Boy, and if I had to give like a banger, it's either like Hummer, probably either Hummer or like Cherub Rock. Cherub Rock is like a good anthem. That's a good way to like get like an anthemic song into a recommendation.
I think my track picks might be the same. Hummer and Mayonnaise are the top tier for me, and then I'd go Cherub Rock, and
I love Space Boy. So good.
yeah, and I'd go Luna and maybe Soma is in there too. But yeah, those are the ones that stick out to me. So,
Oh fuck, man!
Austin.
I almost forgot.
before we leave today, what have you been cooking up for me? What's your recommendation?
Okay, so I actually haven't seen this yet. I'm doing a film. I was gonna do. I think I probably already said it earlier, but I was saying about doing a Brockhampton record. I almost did Iridescence, but me and you have talked about Iridescence enough on our own to where like, fuck, we were talking about it in the car today. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to. I'm anticipating their new record, and I was like hoping to get hyped up, and I was thinking like, oh, I'll recommend the new Brockhampton record that's coming out.
But we don't know when it's dropping.
It's
wait, no,
April
it's
9th.
It's April 9th, yeah.
And I knew like we were getting that release date. Even then, I was like, I'm gonna want to talk about it way too much with you at work and shit. I'll litter it in on the next podcast. We'll talk about it briefly or some shit. So it'll be 2 weeks from now, and so I'm gonna do a film. And I think I might have mentioned it before on a previous podcast, maybe. Or I know I've talked about it with you, but I want to watch. I've only seen the first 30 minutes. I didn't have time to finish it. I worked fucking 47 hours last week. I'm so tired. I got to do it again this week. I'm doing Another Round. It's a foreign film. It's a new film. It came out this year. It came out like a month or two ago. It's from Denmark. It's got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Came out December 4th, 2020. 4 high school teachers consume alcohol on a daily basis to see how it affects their social and professional lives.
Okay, you have told me about this before.
Yeah, we were in the office at work. That's where I told you. It's got he's Mads Mikkelsen. I was gonna say that.
He was in The King, right? No, he wasn't.
No, he's but he's in plays Hannibal Lecter in like the series Hannibal.
Ah, okay.
And he also is in Death Stranding, the Kojima game.
Okay.
So he's an interesting actor. It'll be fun. I actually haven't seen it all yet because like I said, fucking hectic week. I started it, got like 30 minutes in, and I was like, nah, I gotta go work out. It'll be exciting to it'll be a foreign film where you're gonna have to read subtitles.
That's okay.
But it's an interesting premise, and it's got a lot of critical acclaim. And like I said, I haven't finished the movie yet, but from what I saw so far, I really enjoyed the way it was headed. So I'm probably gonna watch it sometime throughout this week. I'll watch it once or twice more after the first viewing, and we'll see what happens when we come back to the next podcast.
This is very out of left field, but I appreciate it. I think that this is the first movie that we've talked about that requires English subtitles.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the way we perceive the acting, knowing that there's subtitles right in front of us and stuff, and see how the story, how we take it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. All right, man.
I'm ready for it.
This has been fun. This was one of our best podcasts. I had a lot of fun.
I enjoyed this one quite a bit.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We had a lot of fun on this one.
Adios.